Hello, I'm Ari and welcome to the very first episode of Good News Tonight. We are going to be bringing you good news from all around the world. However, our first story today takes us a little bit further than that, to the moon. And now that we landed on the moon, let us take a look in one of its holes. That's right, because for the first time, scientists have discovered a cave on the moon. It's at least 100 meters deep and could be a perfect spot for a future base. Isn't that exciting? Now, the scientists say that the cave systems like this are part of a vast underground, undiscovered world, and countries have been racing to build a base on the moon for years now. But space colonists will need protection from the extreme weather and radiation. I suppose it's not that easy to build a base on the moon. Oh well. Anyway, astronaut Ellen Sharman said that the cave is so deep that astronauts might need to abseil in and use jetpacks or a lift to get out. I hope they end up using jetpacks though. Can you imagine? And from the moon we are going to jetpack our way back to Earth, and specifically in the forests of Indonesia, that scientists witnessed something truly amazing. Now, for the first time in recorded history, a wild animal was seen treating its injury with a medicinal plant. An orangutan named Ruckus was seen self-medicating using a paste that it had made from plants to heal a rather nasty wound on its cheek. It is thought that he was injured while fighting a rival male. Now, in the days after, Ruckus was seen chewing the stem and leaves of a plant called Acar cunning, which is an antibacterial and an anti-inflammatory plant that some of the locals actually use to treat diabetes and even malaria. Now, Ruckus repeatedly applied the liquid from the plant to his cheek for 7 minutes, then smeared the chewed up leaves onto his injury until it was fully covered. He then ate the plant for another 30 minutes. Within 5 days, the wound was healed with no signs of infection at all, and after a month, Ruckus was fully healed. Now, we know that he intentionally applied the paste, as the wise men of the forest do not usually eat this plant, and the process took a considerable amount of time. Now, he also rested far more than usual to recuperate from his injury. We will be happy to let you know that Ruckus is now feeling much better and he's back to his usual monkey business. So there you have it, guys. Dr. Ruckus to the rescue. Moving on, we're going to give a damn about beavers that were once everyday sights of the rivers in Britain, but sadly were hunted to extinction. Thanks to the efforts of the National Trust in Wellington, a beaver was actually born in Northumberland for the first time since the 1600s. Wellington now has one of the few populations of beavers in northern England. A ranger reported that the beavers have put a lot of effort into building their lodges and getting their family settled. Since their reintroduction, they've built a number of dams which help slow the flow of water, creating ponds and mud banks. The wetlands the beavers created also attracted bats, fish and this kingfisher here. The slowing water created by the dam also makes the floodplain more resilient to future climate change. And from Britain, we're going to pounce to Spain and talk about the Iberian Lynx that was also nearly wiped out by hunters last century. However, these adorable big fluffy cats have been the focus of a decade-long conservation effort in Spain and Portugal, where the numbers have risen from 94 in 2002 to 2021 in 2023. The Iberian Lynx is officially off the endangered species list. Yay! The effort to bring the species back from the brink of extinction was led by the Life Lynx Connect project, which plans to reintroduce the cat to other parts of Spain. The International Union of Conservation of Nature predicted that the cats could reach fully recovered status within 100 years if conservation work continues. Isn't that amazing? Now let's put our seats in an upright position and fly to South America so we can talk about the deforestation in the Amazon rainforest that has dropped to its lowest level since March 2018. Compared to the same period last year, deforestation is down by 40% in 2024 and experts predict a sharper decrease over the next year. Growing trees and plants in the world have taken up around a quarter of all fossil fuel emissions since the 1960s, and the vast Amazon played a major role in that. Every year, the Amazon absorbs a net of 7.6 billion metric tons of CO2, which helps slow climate change. It is also the home to 80,000 species of plants, and more than half of those play a critical role in regulating the global climate and sustaining the local water cycle. We're now going to take our eyes away from the natural world and look towards humanity, medicine, and healthcare. Children with cancer are now getting better treatment in England because of a genomic test offered to patients. The genome sequencing test provides a complete mapping of the genetic makeup of the cancer cells and identifies cancer-causing mutation. This helps with understanding which treatment is best to tackle the cancer. In a study by NHS England, the test helped provide vital information about tumours 29% of the time. The researchers hope that their work underlines that genome sequencing should be delivered as part of a routine clinic care to all children that might have cancer. According to a study in the US, humanity's emotional health has returned to pre-pandemic levels. It is difficult to scientifically measure emotions, of course, but researchers at Gallup try to do this every year with a negative experience index. For the first time since 2014, the index actually dipped in 2023, indicating that people are experiencing less sadness, anger, worry, physical pain, or stress. Gallup interviewed 146,000 people in 142 countries and identified that people in Latin America and Southeast Asia have the highest positivity score. We do not yet know whether 2023 was the start of a sustained fall in negativity, but we do hope so. Look, there's no rush to rejoin the world, even if it's picking up. Take it at your own pace. In other news, a new AI-enhanced finger prick test could predict Parkinson's disease 7 years before the onset of any symptoms. Researchers from the University College London and a university in Germany that I cannot pronounce even though I tried really hard, trained an AI model to spot blood biomarkers in patients with Parkinson's. The AI forecasted the disease in 16 out of 72 patients. In one case, it predicted the symptoms 7 years before they appeared. The discovery could open up the possibility of using early treatments to slow Parkinson's or to even stop from ever developing. This is a major step forward, as now researchers can start experimental treatments before patients even develop symptoms. And with this, we have reached the end of Good News Tonight. We hope these stories gives your week a good boost. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for next time.